Thank you. Good evening. I'm Ed Winter. I represent Plain Wrong. Plain Wrong is a community noise group. It was formed in 2014 in response to the noise impact caused by when Gatwick introduced performance-based navigation, (PBN) departures. In simple terms, PBN, being far more accurate than conventional navigation, means that all aircraft follow pretty much exactly the same path through the sky, as opposed to earlier systems giving a level of dispersion of actual tracks. Whilst this provides greater capacity for air traffic control, it has a hugely detrimental effect on the residents underneath. Prior to the introduction of PBN, the majority of residents in Gatwick area were pretty tolerant of the noise associated with Gatwick. But things have changed since that time, with numerous community noise groups forming to voice concerns over noise both on departure and arrival routes. The volume of flights has also grown over that period. I'll cover the issues created to the north of Gatwick. Other groups could give similar accounts of other areas. Our approximately 600 members reside in a primarily rural area to the north of Gatwick, which includes A&OBs. It's along Gatwick departure routes 3 and 4. One of these routes is always in use, so that means that many of our members get absolutely no respite at all from aircraft noise. Route 4 is Gatwick's busiest departure route, carrying around 30% of annual departures, and it's in use for about 2/3 of the time. That means that when it is in use, roughly half of all departures fly along that route. At ISH 5, the applicant stated that the proposal is based on the intensification of current routes. Therefore, we assume that the proposal is to increase significantly the number of flights using this route. If this proposal is allowed, in order to derive the planned benefits, the applicant will need to optimise the rate of departures. When the westerly runway is in use, especially at peak periods, Route 4 will need to be used at its maximum potential. That will mean one flight every 3 minutes for long periods of time. In order to achieve this, the applicant will need to reintroduce a PBN departure procedure. The overall effect will be the creation of an intense noise corridor along the route, with residents facing an absolutely intolerable increase in noise. A further consideration is that routes 3 and 4 fly along a narrow corridor of airspace situated between Gatwick and Heathrow. Gatwick aircraft are restricted to low levels, 4,000 feet and below, where noise is deemed to be of the highest priority by government when considering air routes. This is to allow Heathrow to use the airspace above. Fitting even the current level of traffic into this hugely crowded airspace creates very significant environmental issues. Attempting to see the proposed increase in traffic in this already overcrowded airspace is total folly. The leisure traffic market, and in particular the low-cost airline market, is Gatwick's dominant customer. There may be a business traffic element to the low-cost airline passenger inventory, but it's small. The leisure travel market has a very high price elasticity, and the low-cost airlines, with their highly honed skills in dynamic pricing, are experts at creating demand from out of nowhere. If the pricing and marketing messages are right, passengers can easily be drawn into making journeys they haven't even thought about before. There are 2 other significant low-cost airports serving London, Stansted and Luton, and other airports throughout the regional airports throughout the UK with spare capacity. It would appear that Gatwick's proposal is to draw passengers from Stansted and Luton's catchment area, as well as from further afield in the UK. This proposal is not based on predicted natural demand from the southeast. It's based on the ability to create new demand. This would be environmentally totally wrong and absolutely unfair to the residents around Gatwick, forced to suffer the very significant environmental effects of the proposed expansion, in order that Gatwick shareholders could reap the benefits of drawing traffic from throughout the UK. Gatwick should not be permitted to grow unless and until it is able to demonstrate that it could do so whilst at the same time reducing, in a proportionate and balanced way, all environmental, noise and other impacts of any growth. If, unfortunately, the proposal is allowed to go ahead, everything that can be done to alleviate the environmental noise impact should be done. All departure and arrival routes should have an element of dispersal to avoid these intense noise corridors, and night flights should be banned for a full 8-hour period. Thank you for the opportunity to talk.